Welcome to our video series, Swift Now Mobile Games. It's provided by Swift Now Training Center and Swift Now YouTube channel. This video is part of the playlist Mobile Games Day 1. You're watching the first video, first lesson. Before or after watching this video, you may want to watch the first 4 videos of the playlist Swift Programming Day 1. These 4 videos shows you the basic concepts in Swift programming, Xcode, and object-oriented programming. Knowledge from these 4 videos can help you make better games. Again, you can watch these 4 videos before or after you watch this one. For easy access to this video, you can go to this web address. This video shows you how to make the simplest iPhone game. The game is called Baby Skylab. Babies are the main audience, of course. Audio is not part of this lesson. A complex object is constructed. Fingers are used to zoom or rotate the object. That's it in terms of what the game has to be able to do. To make this game Baby Skylab, we're going to use Swift programming language. Xcode is the IDE. Sankey's framework is what we use to construct game objects. This game can be played on an iPhone or an iPad. We will begin with a single view template. We're not going to use the game template because we want you to see the details of how everything is created. Alright, let's begin making this game. Let's run Xcode. Select Create a new Xcode project. Under iOS Application, select Single View Application. Press Next. Product name Baby Skylab. We do not need to use core data for now. Press Next. I normally select this so that I can have version control. And this is where I want to store the project files. If you're new to Xcode, this is the navigator panel. Use this to collapse it. This is the utilities panel. Use this button to collapse it. And these are both of these columns are the document areas. On the left is the organizer, on the right is the canvas. This is the button to collapse the organizer. When you click on main storyboard, the collapse button is right here at the bottom. The first item here is the project handle. Click on the project handle. And then click on General tab. You go back to what we saw initially. Let's click on this button to run the blank program. It's running. Initially, you see the intro screen before it displays the main screen for the app. What we want to do is to Go back to Xcode and disable the launch screen so that we don't have to see that again and again. Click on main storyboard, expand the organizer, click on view, and scroll down here, and let's drag a label on the screens. Control top space, control drag the center to the right, control space, sky, baby Skylab. Now let's run it and see. Okay, let's make this a bit colorful. Let's make this colorful. And this is an important step here. Let's try again. Click on main storyboard and expand the outline and click on view, and then bring up the identity inspector under custom class. Again, this is important. Select SCN view. This is what we need for the game. View is what you see on the screen. What happens on the screen is expressed by the source code, and to know where the source code is that has the logic for this screen, we look at this representation of the controller for the view. Click on the view controller and then go to the identity inspector and see the name of the class that's in charge of this screen. This class is view controller, and that's how we know that this is the file that has the code behind that screen. After this view is displayed, then what happens next is determined by this function. In here we can say print line the main screen has been loaded. Now let's run it and see. As soon as this view is loaded, you can see there's a message that says the main screen has been loaded. This error message came about because the framework SceneKit has not been brought in to the app. To do that, we need to click here and then here, here, Click on the plus, type in SC, and then select SceneKit framework. Add. Now let's run again and see. We should not get that error message anymore. That's right. Now we're ready to code for the game. First, I'm going to call a function draw my Skylab. Remember to put this function inside the class. The first step is to get the handle of the current view. That does not work because I did not import the framework SceneKit. That should do it. Next, I need to create a new scene. A scene is the container of objects on a view. And I need to attach this scene to the current view. For the next two lines, I'm going to copy and paste. This is the standard distance between objects, and this is the length of the axis that we're going to draw for the game. Now let's draw the first axis. We use SC and make it a cylinder. The radius is 0.5. The height is the axis length. Now we need to create a handle for that axis. Which is referred to as a node, using the geometry coming from the drawing. Okay. Now for the next step, I need to put that y-axis in the scene. Okay, so let's run it and see. Don't see anything. That's because by default the axis is white and the background needs to be black. So let's go back here and make my view black. Run again. Okay, we have a y-axis and the y-axis is white. Next, we want to add an x-axis. To do that, I'm going to duplicate this code. It's x here. X here. Okay. Let's run it and see. We do have two objects there. So let's make the second one yellow. Okay, let's run it and see. All right, we do not see the y-axis because it's also occupied by the x-axis. Now I want to rotate the x-axis, make it horizontal. Angle be 0 here, 1 here. I think we need these. How's that? That works. Testing. Voila. Now we have x and y axis. Cannot do anything about that. Let's get the Use the view to let us control the camera. Let's see. But there's no lighting, so let's go into the view and add some lighting. All right. This time I can press Option and then pinch the screen to zoom in or zoom out, or Option and rotate. There we go. Before we continue, let's put in some comment. Set up view handle and configure its behavior. Start a new scene. Attach it to the view. Declare standard distance and length. Axis. Y-axis. D. Now I need to back up this version. D, Y, X. Okay. Next, we want to do the Z-axis. Like this purple. That should do it. Okay. Back up. Next, we want to construct a box. A sphere at first. make it the same as this but with a different color, blue. Okay. I don't have the sphere yet because I did not add the sphere to the scene yet. Okay. Notice that the position of each object I created so far is at the origin and at the center of each and every object. And now let's construct a box. And make this box red. This is 0 because we want to make it square. If it's not 0, then the corners would be a bit round. Okay, let's run it and see. We have a box. Where's the sphere? The sphere is inside the box. That's why we cannot see it, because the box is bigger than the sphere. So let's move the box out to the right on the x-axis. That should do it. Or not. Ah. Should be my box. There we go. Press Option, zoom out. Option, zoom in. Okay, let's back up. Let's add a pyramid. And make it orange. Five, 10, 15. Let's run it and see. We have a pyramid. But notice that the pyramid is not below the x-axis. That is because the pivot point is at the base. The pivot point of an object is the point that is used to determine its location in space. Whereas the other objects, the sphere, the cylinder, and the cube, the box, they all have their pivot point at the center of the object, but not for the pyramid. Let's move the pyramid up. That should do it. But that's too much. I want to see the end of the axis right there. Okay. Now I want to add some text. So let's copy this down. and make this text green. That's the thickness. That's my online signature. There we go. That's the text. So where do you think the pivot point is for the text? It's at the lower left corner of the text. What happens when we make it two lines of text? As you can see, the fixed point is at the origin right there, which is the lower left corner of the text. That determines the position of the text. Now let's reposition the text. All right. Let's see where that position would be for the text. Right there. That's it. Now let's try it on iPad and see. Press the Option key on the keyboard and zoom out. There we go. Now we have a tiny game for little babies. That was the making of Baby Skylab, a mobile game by First Lesson Video, which is on the playlist Mobile Games Day 1. That's part of the video series Swift Now Mobile Games. Thank you for watching this video.